Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am SolieSims and we're doing a tour of a zombie apocalypse compound in the theme of State of Decay 2. If you guys are not aware, I am a big zombie fan. I love everything zombie apocalypse. Actually, when I build, most of the time I'm listening to an audio series or an audio book about some zombie apocalypse or something. I don't know why I've never tried making this before, but here we are irrespective of that. Now I'm using my inspiration from State of Decay. Okay, and my idea for this space is that it is abandoned train stop where containers were stored and people could, well, not people, the companies would drop off their stuff, pick up new loads, etc. So a lot of the converted living spaces is now is made from containers basically. So I'm gonna give you a top view, at least some idea of what we're looking at here. So this is the full compound, right? So it's like I was saying, it is just a case where storage containers were deposited and the community has now built up this space where they can live. Now in State of Decay 2, you have to go around because it's a community building game as well as a survival game, and it's with little hints of crafting as well. So I do play a lot of zombie games, Dying Light, The Walking Dead, Telltale series, etc. Anyway, and of course State of Decay. So in the beginning of State of Decay 2, which we are going to be focusing on in particular, we do get a point to where in the beginning of the game you have to go through this abandoned military camp, and I took inspiration from that in doing this here. Now as a character, you did not know in the beginning that the camp has been abandoned, but you do have to still go through that process, etc. I imagine that there would be, because this is now a living compound, it's been a few weeks now that all of this is happening, so it's not a case where it is just abandoned. These people have actively been building up this space to make it what it is now. I imagine there would be armed guards here basically shuffling through. They do welcome people in it. Occasionally you do recruit people, but you also have to be on the lookout for bad guys. So you go in through here, and in my mind there is this first checkpoint that you have to get through. This is of course where you would be checked out to make sure that you don't have any zombie bites or anything else on you before you can even just be processed and go into the main camp. There is a camp doctor, so that person is stationed in this area, and you go in through here. There is a slight discrimination against aliens, so apologies for that. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. This is the medical facility. Now this is where I take inspiration from another zombie game that I play, and that is not The Last of Us, Days Gone. This is one of the most iconic zombie games. I love it so much, where he has neuro checkpoints basically that he has to go through and pick up little different stashes of medication. Anyway, so this first area here is where they would do whatever surgeries, etc. that need to be performed, perhaps like amputations or stitching up of stuff, etc. And anybody who has like big surgery and they do need to recover or need to be quarantined, they would be quarantined in here. We do have like a separation to a curtain to separate the two areas, so it is like 2 beds, etc. But like I said, it's like a quarantine area, so medical personnel only allowed in here. Okay, so remember I told you that we do have to go out and collect resources. So this is some of the materials that have been sourced outside of the property, and every time you go out it's a danger, of course, But they went out, they sourced some materials, and they've stored it here for now. They're in the process, like I said, of just trying to make this space a livable one and a better one. There is, of course, guardrail everywhere to ensure the safety of the people in the compound against zombie raids. And in through here, this is where the vehicles will pass through to drop off whatever supplies that they need to drop off and move on from there. Of course, we have a small entertainment. This is one of the entertainment spots, and this is, of course, a basketball hoop. The basketball is right over here. We don't have like running water, but we do have a water system. So I have the game going in the background, guys, sorry. So you do have to hand wash your items. There is no washing machine. You hang up your clothes over here. There is an outdoor sink for like washing up or whatever you have to do, but we're going to continue going through here. I believe that there are at least a few bicycles in the game. We don't really have, instead of Decay 2, there's no bicycles, which I think is a little bit odd. I feel like there should be at least 1 or 2 bicycles because everything is run on fuel still, which is a little bit, like I said, odd but understandable as well. This is one crafting area. I think this is the area where they make like candles, etc. and stuff like that. There are 2 generators, one big and one small, and all of these boxes, etc. are just places, just items where they've put aside, they've either sourced outside, so there are some storage stuff in here, but then there's also stuff that may have been on this space in this compound originally before it was turned into what it is now. I imagine that there used to be a few tents here before they actually put in and cleaned it up just a little bit, not too much. I mean, the place is overrun and they don't have time for them to like regular maintenance of stuff, etc. I think this tree is where they tied ribbons in remembrance of all the lives that have been lost, that they have lost during that process of moving in here, or survivors that have gone out, or just family members, etc. It's just a cool little way for them to remember their loved ones. I will come back to this area, but for now we're going over to this space. So there is, I should have mentioned, like, obviously you guys saw that there are lunch tables here, so there is some form of outdoor communal type of dining going on. I imagine there are kids as well, so there's lots of space to run around and just be happy and explore. Not all of these shipping containers are actually usable. Some of them are just decorative pieces only. So we do have this little cozy bonfire area place here, but it's simply a place, I believe, at night they can sit and come have a cup of coffee and just talk about the day and what's happening, and just planning different things for the future. Out here is an outdoor cooking space. Disregard the stinky pot. Let's just pretend that it was food that's gone bad, or like leftovers left to be soaked out or whatever. There is a camp stew being cooked out here, so everybody can come up, grab their plate. This gives a little bit of RDR2 vibes. You grab your plate, you get your little beans and pork and beans or whatever it is that they have going on over here. And of course, in here we have, just, I guess, somebody to monitor things, especially for the younger ones, to make sure that things are going how it's supposed to go and people don't take food unnecessarily that they don't need. Everything, I imagine, would be done like on a ration type of basis. Over here we see that they're starting to try and grow their own food, and just, I forgot to add like the grub bins or whatever storage places, which would going to be my reason why we have fuel, or part of the reason why we have fuel. Anyway, so this is where they grow their own food. They've started that process. So there are cabbages that come in over here. There's a little bit of wheat coming in over here, and I left this little portion of space empty, so that if you want to actually come in and do your own farming, if you decide to download this, of course, there is that option as well. We do have some water collectors over here, which goes a long way towards helping this. I even put in some bins so you can go dumpster diving as well. It can be a case where you can pretend that they found maybe a burnt or broken down piece of furniture that they're going to incorporate somehow into their lives. We do have some barrels, sorry. We can pretend like these are like biofuel barrels in here. We also have just an indoor garden area, gardening station and stuff, so they can come in and do their gardening in here as well, kind of like a greenhouse effect, because it does have like some of the thing cut up in the top. This over here, I'm putting it here. I put it here and I put this door on it, so it kind of looks like it's semi-pried open, and it is supposed to be like a storage shed, but this is one of those that are not functional, so it really has nothing in there. It's just a non-functional space. We can pretend that there's extra storage in there. Alright, so it's starting to get into night, but like I said, I have like the regular time passing through whilst I do this store, so we can have an idea of what the place looks like. And the insect noise is coming through, and I just imagine like a few zombie growls in here as well. Up here, I meant to add a few more things, but I completely forgot. I feel like this is a lookout point in the event of like an emergency or something. So of course you don't have to worry about zombies climbing because they won't, but in the event of an emergency or like have to hurriedly escape, in a State of Decay 2 there are lots of vantage points where you can climb up and aim down and shoot, because there are special types of zombies as well. So I imagine like this is one of those places where you can come up and take a look and stuff. You can also pretend like some of the coal is what is stored from them, that's members of the community harvesting whatever burnt wood etc that they can find, and not just burnt wood, rather the wood they burn, and take it from there. Okay, all right, so we're going back down, and over here, let me just do the top here, is another lookout spot. I feel like this is a place where at night the older folk, well not older because the older folk is going to be down here, but people like maybe the younger set folk can come sit here. They do have a good vantage point. They do have a good vantage point of the woods over here, so they can see what's coming if anything, and can take them out from over here. And you do get a pretty cool view of like the whole compound as well, and it's very well lit up. I believe they do have, I wanted to show you guys this up here. Did I just press I sped up the time, I'm sorry, my girl was probably sleeping as well. So they do have like water heaters up here, solar panels, etc. Again, these are things I believe that they all sourced of course to find around, and they've put it to use. In State of Decay 2 you do get to recruit people with special abilities basically. So let's just pretend like they've gotten maybe a welder, somebody who knows what they're doing with this in regards to like water storage etc, maybe like a farmer or something as well. This is a communal space, one of the communal spaces. Again, this one is more of course a place where they can listen to the transistor radio. As you can see, the radio is inside simply because they want to try and minimize noise. This is another thing, certain amenities in the game instead of Decay 2 will either rank up your noise level, which can draw hordes etc to you. And so in here we're just trying to minimize that by putting things like the radio and entertainment, like loud entertainment like movies, projectors etc inside, where it is less likely to be, you know, out there and make noise. in here is the kitchen space, and I guess we do have like 1 or 2 persons who can cook. I did put in a regular fridge and just some cupboards or whatever. This is a grill. It's done off the grill as well. Of course, we have a deep fridge. This is from a CC from SolieSims, and the pantry area where we do have some dried goods stock, some water bottle that they were very lucky to find, some produce I imagine that they either traded for or some they traded for or grew themselves. We do have potatoes and carrots and some plantains, etc. And of course over here we have like all the little beans, etc., canned stuff, and these I believe are things that they have started processing themselves in regards to maybe doing some canning and stuff. And we have onions and garlic in here, and just a small space suggesting. And then there is, the coffee is served outside, but in here I imagine you can get like some tea or whatever. I should have just put in like regular tea bag, but anyway. So we're going in through this space now, this area, coming upstairs. Now we're going to command area, the command space of the compound, which is of course one of the most important places that you can go in through. We will come in through that side, but let us just go up. So we go up the stairs here, and you're now in the command post area. This is of course the highest vantage point that you can get in this compound, of course, because it overlooks like the whole compound. You get to see so much. And we do have a little telescope here. This is so that you can look out and further out to see what's happening. So this is like our highest point. We do have some, I imagine this is where ammo and some gas and like the more valuable things that would be stored here, things that you wouldn't normally get in just like the regular pantry, etc. And this is the command space station, like I said. So there is a place to sit over here. There's a notebook here for all kinds of notes taking, etc. There are things over here maybe of like missions, we can see like mission posts, but basically not. These are maybe places where you can visit and find certain things. It's all marked down over here. And yeah, I believe this was probably where some of these things were parts that were taken out from where the main command station was for the train station before it became what it is now. And in over here is another place, another vantage point, basically a place you can come up, you can take a look around. So yeah, so we do have another vantage area where you can take a look around and see what's happening. We can pretend, guys, that this over here is like an outdoor wood stocking area. So we're going in through here. Because this is a very small space, of course, we have like communal, although each space does have its like own individual cubicle, kind of like its own room. There is like one shower, one tub, and if you're in there, if it's occupied, I imagine that you just draw your curtain down. I guess people will hear what's happening, but yeah, so that is where they do have their showers and stuff. Again, another enclosed space. This place is so well protected, guys, it's not even funny. And we have like the dormitories and where people come in to sleep. We have communal space. I'm sorry, nobody gets their own beds, basically. There's almost no privacy. There's almost no privacy here because you simply can't. So like I said, there are some kids here as well, so I guess some areas here will showcase that. Trunks and stuff where clothing is stored. There is like this area here for them to sit and take notes or whatever. And yeah, and then leading out through here is to the top here where we came in through earlier. so you can all see what's happening. And this is it. This is my compound. I really enjoy, like I said, my genre, which is zombie apocalypse, and I wanted it to be a little bit real to what I've seen in video games. And I feel like this kind of suits. This is one of the bigger compounds, of course, and I would love to do like the converted church. There is a converted church that is used for like a first base in State of Decay 1, and there are lots of different little houses, different little places. There's the brewery as well in State of Decay 2, and there's a campground that you can use as well. Like I want to try to do this. I really enjoyed doing this. It made me reconnect to the game a lot more, and that now that State of Decay 2 is no longer getting any major updates, etc., we got the final update for State of Decay 2 a while back, because concentration is being, I guess, put towards State of Decay 3, which I'm totally excited for. I can't wait to see it. I did kind of want to bring that kind of feeling back in my game, and this is just maybe a place for me to play if no one else wants to get this download, but it kind of brings back those vibes and those kind of feelings in me for the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video, because I certainly enjoyed going through it and explaining what my thought processes were, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye for now.